Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Namaskaram. And I'm so humbled to be again back with all of you. And first of all, heartiest congratulations to each one of you that you decided to invest your time, energy here. And as Uday was talking about, I think compounding is there in everything. And I'm sure with all of you coming here, networking, your learnings will grow and you will get the best sharing of the best practices. Uh, Somebody has said that, okay, if you have, one big idea, I think itself is sufficient. We don't need to work on every idea every day, but if you have got that one big idea, you just work on it. And I think today we all are very, very thankful, blessed that we are in the golden period of India. We are in the Amrit Kal period of India. And today, what does this Amrit Kal means? Amrit Kal means that India as a country will not only become we will travel the journey from developing country to a developed country. We will actually, if you look at, will become the third largest economy in the next few years. And the kind of opportunities which will come for our people, for all of us, for our investors, for our industry also, a different kind of opportunity is going to be there. So whatever we have been doing, when we look back, I think if you look at from our industry growth, everybody is talking about the kind of growth which we have achieved. But nevertheless, when you look at it from the perspective of the Amrit Kal period, it is again a very big opportunity which we all have, which is about 20x, 30x. So if we have to grow 20x and 30x, then whatever we have been doing, should we reflect upon and see that what is that which we need to do for the next 20 years for our business so that we are able to achieve that business growth for 20 years and 30 years. So these are some of the thoughts which I'll talk about. And in that perspective, I will share with you few questions. Last time also I shared few questions which you can use to make the business plan for the Amrit Kal period. And then again, I am back here to repeat those questions because the questions are same, but the answers will be different for each one of you. So when you look at Amrit Kal, I think we all have been talking about it. We all have been, there are pundits who are saying we will grow to a $30 trillion economy. There are some camp which are saying we will go to $25 trillion economy. And I was very fortunate. I attended one seminar with Mr. Krishnamurthy Subramaniam, who is our ex-chief economic advisor. And he was arguing that India will actually grow to $50 trillion economy and not to $30 trillion economy. And I think he actually played a very simple mathematics, and which you all know. How many of you believe that we will be a $30 trillion economy? Please raise your hands. How many of you believe that we will be a $40 trillion economy? In next 20 years, by 2047, in our Amrit Kal period. How many of you believe that we will be a $50 trillion economy? Okay, so very few hands for all the predictions. But if you look at the rule of 72, we all are aware about the rule of 72. What it says that if you, let's say India's economy is growing at 7%, while the assumptions are that, okay, we will grow at 8%, let's assume that we are growing at 7.5%. We have inflation which is 4.5%. The RBI target is 4%. So cumulatively, we are talking about a 12% economic growth. If our economy is growing by 12%, the rule of 72 says that every 6 years, we are going to double. Every 6 years. So please pay attention to it, because I'm sure this narrative will help you when you are interacting with your investors so that they can imagine the kind of massive growth opportunity which is going to happen. So every 6 years, we are going to double. In 2047, how many years are left? Around 23 years. Let's assume 24 years for simplification. How many doublings which will be there in the next 24 years? 4 doubling. Now this 4 doubling is the power of compounding which Uday was talking about, which means it is not 4 doubling, but it is actually 16 times. Correct? Because the economy will grow, double, and then the double of that, and then double. So it's not about linear progression, but 2 to the power of 4, which is basically, we are talking about the economy will grow 16 times. What is the size of the economy today? Around $4 trillion. Multiplied by 16. It even comes much higher number than $50 trillion. So it's simple that even in a most conservative estimates, India is going to become anywhere between 50, 40 or $60 trillion economy, and therefore, which means massive opportunity for each one of you. So you have to start thinking about how do you actually manage that opportunity. Now, when you look at, and this is something which was not there, last year. I promised Mr. Sam that, I will add some more data points and interesting facts. Now, this is what the India which is changing. And this is the left, which is the India of more or less today. And this is the India which is there on my right hand side in blue, is the India of Amrit Kal. And if you understand this pyramid, you will understand the kind of opportunity which is going to emerge. And that pyramid this triangle is completely getting reversed. So what is happening is, if you look at and these are number of the households. So if you have about 32 crore households today with about 140 crore population, by 2047, this population is going to be about 160, 170 crores, and therefore you will get that number of households. If you look at your high income households are at about 30 million. 3 crore households rahenge which are high income. The upper middle is the biggest one, which is 168 million. You have 17 crore households which will be there in that category. And then again, you can see the lower in terms of the number of households is shrinking, and the upper end and the middle end is increasing, and that is the biggest opportunity. So from an investor perspective, from a wealth perspective, number of households perspective, that is a massive opportunity which is going to there. So you need to be prepared for this opportunity, and therefore you need to work on your business. The second aspect, when you look at all our investors, while Uday was talking about in terms of the AUM, that how many of you are just predominantly 100% in equity or predominantly in equity. It is not about, if you look at your investors, where they are investing, what is their thali, what is their pie, and this is what the breakup of the financial saving is. While out of 100 rupees which is invested, 46% is in the physical saving, 54% is the financial saving. Even after this massive growth, when you look at, and if you look at this pie chart, deposit still is at 37%, and mutual funds is just 6% of our investors' pie. So there is a huge massive growth which is therefore you will see that happening as the financialization is happening, as more and more investors are adopting mutual funds, and you will see that your growth opportunity which is there is massive. So it's, those people, those who are at 100 crores, you need to start thinking about managing 1,000 crores. Those who are at 200 crores, they need to think that, okay, how I can manage 2,000 crores. If you look at another dimension in terms of the penetration, and we all know that, okay, we have the largest human resources today in the entire planet. We have the largest population. But you look at any dimensions, you look at the e-commerce user, you look at the number of demat accounts, you look at even the taxpayers. I think this data is 9 crores, but when I saw the newspaper today, the latest report says that number of taxpayers are 10 crores. But still, while we have 21 crore folios, but the unique mutual fund investors are only 5 crores. So if you look at the penetration is just less than 3%. So we are talking about a country where when you look at the income pattern, we are seeing a reverse triangle where we have more wealthy investors, more wealthy people which are going to be there. Their per capita income is going to be much higher, but the penetration is so less that it is only less than 3%. So we have a huge opportunity at the investor end. The penetration is very less, but when you look at the number of the distributors and partners, those who are working, okay, and even after a surge of 50%, 60% AUM growth, you can see the number of distributors, those who are working and are available for, more than 100 crores of the distributors, if I look at it, is less than 3,000 distributors at this point of time, even in the country. So there is a massive opportunity for each one of us to really scale up our business and bring that different dimensions to it. Now, of course, I will just, now if we have to look at this kind of growth, and if this is the massive growth which is going to happen, so growth is not an issue. We are in a growth market, the growth is going to happen. If you are there in the mutual fund industry, the growth is going to happen. Even the worst of the, growth, the industry has been growing at 18%, 20% CAGR. The next predictions for the next 20 years is that, okay, it will continue to grow at 20% CAGR. So the industry growth is not a problem. The question which you need to ask yourself is that, okay, am I prepared for the Amrit Kal period? It's going to be an Amrit Kal period for the India. Once in century kind of opportunity is there. We were in an Amrit Kal period during our 16th and 17th century. So it is after centuries. It is not about decades opportunity, but once in a centuries kind of opportunity which we are there. So are we prepared? And if we have to have, if this is the kind of massive growth which is going to happen, what are the things which I need to work on my business? And therefore, today, I will just ask few questions. I am sure each one of you will have different answers for those questions. Please take those questions with you, write down your business plan, ask yourself, and then you will get answers in terms of how do you want to scale up your business. I think first question is, of course, which is very, very important, is how many hours in a day? So can I get some response? How many hours in a day? Sorry, I can't hear. I am asking this question for the second time in this conference. I thought this time it will be correct. They are only 23 hours because 1 hour is there for your, please invest in your health because that is very, very important. If you are healthy, you will be able to service your customers, you will be able to build your business. The first question, the fundamental question is, who's your customer? The opportunity is massive. So you have to decide your sweet spot, which segments you want to work on. You want to work as a distributor which can service all the kind of clients. You want to specialize in certain segments and, kind of scale up your business. There are success stories across all the models. So there is nothing right or wrong, but you need to ask in terms of from your perspective, from the opportunity which you want to, work upon, what is your specialization, what is that which is your strength, and then align the segmentation. What kind of customers these are? If you, let's say, decide on, somebody can decide to work that, okay, I'll work only on the armed forces. Now that itself is a very big segment. Somebody can decide that, okay, I want to work only in the corporate sector. That itself is a very big segment. Somebody wants to work only on the women's. Itself is a big opportunity. So you decide which segments you want to work on and then build your business model around it. I think very, very fundamental question. While I understand that the competition is not that much and number of distributors, number of partners, those intermediaries, those who are available in the mutual fund industry are very less as compared to some other industries like life insurance and other financial industries. But I think it is important that you decide what is your value proposition, how you are different from somebody else who is actually offering the mutual fund product. So it could be because of the kind of personal connect you have. It could be because of what I think Uday talked about in terms of the life planning tools which he has used in some of those clients, and those are very differentiating aspect. I feel very proud that in India, at least I was associated in, coming out with that life planning program, and I hope Uday would have launched that, which we did with Network FP and along with George Kinder in my previous organization. So, but you need to decide in terms of your value proposition, what is your differentiation, and that will differentiate you from any other distributor and any other partner. What is your client acquisition strategy? While you can, there is nothing right or wrong. You can decide that, okay, it is my phygital strategy, so that you have both, you are doing the physical acquisition, you are doing physical IIPs, you are doing meeting investors in a physical way, but at the same time means, you can adopt digital as a strategy also, and therefore, you can do customer acquisition digitally, you can do your interactions digitally, you can do even your IIPs digitally. And I think during the COVID times, we have seen it that people have embraced the use of the digital technology to increase their business, to have those interactions. So I think very, very important that as a part of your business, you decide what is that client's acquisition strategy which you want to adopt. How will you strengthen your business? Because it's very, very important. Today, as an individual distributor, I can service 50 clients, 100 clients, maybe 200 clients. But if your aspiration is to get that 1,000 crore, if your aspiration is to get that 500 crores, you need to invest in business. You need to start thinking, you need to have a mindset of a CEO, and therefore you need to invest into your business. And that business, investment into the business will require, in terms of investment into the people, what kind of people you want to get into your company, an organization, what kind of processes you want to build in, what kind of technology you want to use it, because in terms of your operational convenience, in terms of your reducing your cost, technology will play a very, very important role, and there are a lot of technological solutions which are available. What is your inner scorecard? So I think a lot of times you only talk about in terms of what is my AUM, and I think if you have to look at the big opportunity which is available, then you have to look at the other dimensions of the scorecard. I think Uday also talked about in terms of learning, and that should be part of your scorecard as an organization. That's very, very important. Which kind of books you are reading, what kind of conferences you are attending, what kind of networking, which kind of distributors, advisors you are meeting. I think these all will help you in terms of scale up. And there are different kind of inner scorecards you need to make. And I think if I remember, Warren Buffett has often talked about the inner scorecard. First time he actually used that. I've used that word here for you to give you a perspective that not only the AUM is important, but I think the composition in terms of your asset allocation. How much is your equity and debt, and how much is your hybrid? That is very important. Which kind of AMCs you are working with, because these are all manufacturers. What is the kind of vintage they have? In terms of the funds which you are recommending, what kind of vintage? What is the process which you have in terms of the fund selection, and then distributing it to your clients? In asset allocation, Uday in fact talked about the asset allocation. So it is not only equity and debt, but also from an equity perspective. For example, what is your large cap, mid cap, small cap allocation? Today, when I look at in terms of the industry, and I think he referred to about thematic funds also, do you know which is the largest category of funds today in terms of the AUM? On the equity side? Which one? Sorry? No, thematic funds. Now today we are talking about a country where the penetration is just 6%. We are competing with the traditional deposit, but the biggest AUM category in the equity side is thematic funds. Today, do you know that the mid cap AUM in the mutual fund as a category is more than the large cap? So we have the blue chip companies and the large cap, but the AUM of the large cap category is lower than the mid cap. So somewhere this asset allocation, we need to ask that, okay, are we doing the right asset allocation for the investors, and is it because of the performance that the investors are chasing performance and we are also chasing the performance, or we are really doing our asset allocation? Your AMC concentration mix, your market cap concentration mix, I think those are very, very important. And I think this is very, very close to me, which is, I think that entire narrative in the industry needs to change. And I would sincerely urge you that while we have been, talking about the AUM, but very, very important that you talk about what is the goal under management in your distribution or advisory. Because what it will help you is that entire narrative of investments can change if we talk about that language of goals with our investors, and also it will help you in terms of the retention of the assets, it will help you in the longevity of the assets. It will also give you a reflection that how my AUM will actually grow, because if you know what are the goals under management, maybe you're in those goals are after 5 years and 10 years, but this is the way my AUM will grow with the present goals under management, and therefore it gives you a very good indicator of what kind of AUM growth you can achieve. Can anybody talk about this? What is this UCG? Any thoughts? So I'll keep coming again and again every year, and I'm going to repeat the same thing again and again. I think that itself, these are big ideas that till the time, we all understand the power of this, I need not to run any other different presentation. I think one of the, again, when you look at the AUM, what are the components of AUM? There is number of units and the NAV, correct? These are the two inputs. Number of units multiplied by NAV is what the AUM is. Now, can you work, is the NAV in your control? Is this something which is in our control? No, correct? It is a function of what the markets will be volatile, markets will go up, markets will come down. So that is not a factor which is in our control. What is in our control? In our control is only number of units. So when you look at the 60% growth and 50% AUM growth, how many of you can today in this conference can stand and say that I have a 50% unit growth in my AUM? How many of you can stand? Is there anyone who can actually stand and say that I have a AUM growth of 50%, which is, or 100%, and there 50% of the AUM of the growth is coming because the number of units have increased? And that is something which is in our industry. When you look at, if we start tracking that number of units growth, you will see the magic, because on the one side you have the NAV growth which is coming in, on the other side which is in your control is the units growth, and that will help you in terms of the overall compounding of your AUM, is a compounding of which will also help the investors in terms of their wealth. So we talked about the goals. Also, I think it's very important that if you need to get that wallet share of your clients, you're not only talking about your mutual funds, but you position as a CFO for your clients. And therefore, whether it is in terms of help them in terms of taxation, succession planning, other things, you talk about you have a different product range, complete product range and solutions for your investors, because so that you become a one-stop shop. Now, don't get confused that you need to only distribute those products. You may have tie-ups, partnership with different people, those who are specialized into those products, but from an investor perspective, you should be the front face, you should be the one-stop house, so that you can provide all the solutions to your investors. And I think that's, again, in today's world, it's very, very important. India, while it is becoming a very, very populous country, India is the largest populous country, we have the largest human resource, but India is young also. You have young investors, those who are coming in, and therefore it is very, very important that you keep your social media presence, you use all these opportunities in terms of increasing your business, creating your trust, creating your brand using this social media. And if you, before COVID and after COVID, and I'll just give you one data point so that you will understand the kind of change which is happening. Before COVID, the number of Demat account in India was less than 5 crores. Today, we have about 17 crore Demat accounts. This entire growth in the Demat account, 80% of the investors, those who are coming and opening the new Demat account, 80%, 80, are less than 40 years. This is the new set of the investors, those who are coming into the capital market. So, if you need to adopt in terms of the social media and see, because these all young investors are there at the social media, and if your presence is there, it will help you to build that trust, with you. And I think it's very, very important that if you know the story of Mahabharata, both Duryodhan and Arjun, they actually went to Krishna. And to seek his support and to seek his, they wanted Krishna to be there on that side. Duryodhan asked for the Narayani Sena, all the resources of Krishna. And Arjuna, he asked for Krishna, Sarthi. And that made all the difference to the battle of Mahabharata. Correct? So you need to ask that, okay, are you Krishna to your clients? And if you are Krishna to your clients, if you are Sarthi to your clients, then definitely you can make your investors, you can help them in terms of the entire wealth creation journey for themselves and again for your business. The way you need to be Krishna for your investors, you also need to have Krishna for your business. Because if you have one mentor or the group of mentors, the group of Krishnas or Krishnas to help you in terms of your business, it will help you to give those external perspectives that what you need to do in your business, and it will help you win this Mahabharata also and enjoy this entire Amrit Kal period, become a 20x, 50x, 30x growth in the entire Amrit Kal period for each one of you. Now, while I have been talking about the goal-based investments and we have been propagating this thought, we thought that okay, yes, it will be very, very important that we also take some initiatives from our company to help you in terms of A, with your investors, B, in terms of your perspectives also. So there are two initiatives which we have launched. One is we have launched a training program which is basically Grow Your Business 50x, and this is one program which we have launched. We have been running that digitally. We have actually the best of the trainers which are available in the industry, those who are coming in. So we have Mr. Amit Trivedi, if you know him. We have Mr. Harish Rao from Bangalore. We have Mr. Kishore Sharma, who is an ex-HDFC. So all these three veterans, industry veterans, are helping us, and we have been running that training program. There is already 2 sets of sessions which we have already done. This is a unique program in which we have 3 sessions for our partners. So we are running this first phase, and after that first phase, again, if the feedback, if you all would want, we will take you through, you will be able to subscribe to that training program. The second is, I am very, very pleased to share with all of you that we are launching a goal SIP. Every conversation which we do with investors are around their goals. But in the mutual funds industry, not everybody has created that kind of infrastructure so that nowhere it is getting captured. So while some distributors, some partners will have the software, but clearly at the RTA level, it is something which has been a missing link. I am very pleased to share with you that today, here at this forum, this is the first launch which we are doing. It is still not available with rest of the country. We are going to launch that even with our internal sales team on Monday, and Venkat knows about it. Even our internal sales team will get to know about the unveiling of this product on Monday. But I am very pleased to launch that today at this August forum for all of you. And that's a very unique product which we have launched. I would request if we can run the AV for all our fellow friends here of the Canara Robeco Goal SIP.
Innovation has changed everything around us, from basic telephony to smartphones, from cash transactions to digital ones, and from traditional taxis to smart cabs. It has streamlined our lives, making them simpler, more convenient, and overall better. Though we engage in the same activities, the experience has been greatly enhanced. It's like being upgraded from economy to business class. Imagine getting a similar upgrade in your investing journey too. Yes, it's possible. With Goal SIP, upgrade your investing experience to new heights, enjoying added convenience and delight with some useful features that empower you to plan for your goals more effectively. Explore how these features can accompany you throughout your investment journey. Instead of just investing in markets, invest in goals. You can name your goal. Consider naming your investments based on your aspirations, such as My Dream Car, or World Tour with Family, or My Child's Education. The goal name feature enables you to personalize your SIP investments, allowing you to monitor the progress of your goals through your account statements. Moreover, it establishes an emotional connection with your investments to foster discipline. Want to reach your goals sooner? The SIP top-up feature can accelerate your periodical investments by automatically increasing the SIP amount periodically, harnessing the power of compounding. You always buy things of your choice. Then why compromise when it comes to investing? My Date feature allows you to select your preferred SIP date. Unforeseen circumstances may hinder your investment journey. But why stop investing when you can simply pause and resume it at your convenience? The pause feature empowers you to do just that. Don't let anything hinder your dreams. Opt for the long-term SIP up to 40 years to keep your SIPs active and avoid the hassle of reapplying every time your SIP tenure ends. Isn't it truly remarkable and convenient? Get closer to your goals with Goal SIP. For more information, contact us or your mutual fund distributor or advisor today. Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
So this goal SIP will enable your investors to actually name every goal and personalize every goal for which they are doing SIP, and it will get captured in the account statement which the investors will receive. And so therefore they will be able to track. There is a kind of emotional relationship, emotional bonding which will happen with the goal. There is a dil ka rishta which will happen with all those goals, and therefore the longevity of those assets will be higher. The client will not, maybe the discussions will be around the goal and not the performance, and therefore it can help you again in terms of helping investors achieve their goal. So thank you very much for this. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you, Gaurav. Golji, kindly be there on the stage. Can we have now Mr. C.R. Venkatachalam, Zonal Head, Kerala of Canara Robeco Mutual Fund, to kindly come onto the stage. Mr. Raj Narayanan, Cluster Head Cochin, Ratish Kumar, Cluster Head Trivandrum, Ganesh, Manager Kochi, Sumesh, Manager Canara Robeco Thrissur, and Ranjit, Manager Canara Robeco Kannur, to kindly join Mr. Gaurav Goyal on stage. We are going to have the lucky draw of Canara Robeco. The first lucky draw to be picked up by Mr. Gaurav Goyal himself. The condition is that the MFD should be available in this room. No proxies allowed.
So the first lucky number is 367.
Number 367. Second call, number 367. Third call, number 367. 367 cancel.
Lucky number 152.
152. First call. There we have. Please come running. Sir, you can take the next lot also, sir.
And we have another lucky number, 048.
048. First call. 048. Second call. 048 is available? Yes, ma'am. Sorry, 048 stands cancelled. We'll have to pick up one more. That was a boogie.
Oh, it's 402.
402. First call. Oh. It's the yellow coupon. 402. Please come running. Can we have Mr. Abhilash Kurian from Kottayam chapter to kindly come forward to hand over a token of our appreciation to Mr. Gaurav Goyal?